Hey guys, it's Chris from SurviveNnThrive. Today I'm going to be going over something called a patrol map. Now, what a patrol map is, it's a basic simple map you can make for an area. Maybe you're not familiar with it, maybe you are. It's just to get a basic lay of what's where, and it's a good way to navigate the area you're in, especially if you're not familiar with it. This can be a very simple way to maybe get your bearings a little bit. Now in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make a patrol map, and I'm also going to be showing you how to get direction from a analog watch. I'll be doing another video on digital because I have a digital. It's simple, it's another little thing, but just for simplicity of this video I'm going to be showing you how to do it with an analog watch. This is actually the only one I had, so that's why it's all gold and pretty. But yeah. So with that being said, I'm just going to jump right into it and show you what you need to make or set up your basic patrol map. Okay guys, so when you're doing a patrol map, the things you're going to need, basic things you're going to need is a writing implement. I like to carry a pencil with me for the sole purpose that if that happens, it breaks or anything, you can just take out a knife and just get your tip right back. Unlike with a pen, where you can't sharpen it to get it working again. If a pen explodes or the ball on the tip gets all messed up, then you're out of luck. So that's why I carry a pencil. Also, worst case scenario, you can burn it. Get dry wood from it. You're gonna need a watch, digital or analog. For this one, I'm gonna be using the analog, as I said, just to show you how to get basic direction with it. A piece of paper. This is obviously going to be to write your map or draw your map out. And you don't need a compass. You can use a compass. It makes it easier to make a patrol map. But I'm using it just to show you the actual orientation of where things are, so you know this isn't BS that I'm being like, oh look, yeah, that's the direction, and I could know it beforehand. I'll walk you through the actual technique for finding direction with the watch, and I'll let you see this so you know which way is actually north, south, east, west. Okay, so I'm going to start going over the analog watch. Okay guys, so it is, if you can see this, 1 o'clock. In about 45 seconds it will be. The sun is actually, I don't know if you're going to be able to tell from this, but the sun is right up through that tree. This big pine tree is in the way. Okay, so first off, I'm going to show you the compass, which, let me get you guys in close on this and make sure you can see it. Okay, so this is my compass, and I got it as flat a lay as I can, like on the ground and everything. And I already know the directions of the area, so this is just something to show you guys so you understand where it is. So if you can see, this is north, and you got the arrow. Oh, let me fix that a little bit. You got the arrow in the doghouse for north, so this way is north. Going that way, that's south, so then you have east and west. Now, picking the camera up from that direction, so you can see the area in which I'm going to be doing this. Yeah, it's my pallet cabin, I think you can see, or yeah, I'm in the process of building it. Okay, so it is 1 o'clock exactly right now. Sorry for getting so close in your face right there. So I got my analog watch, which is at 1 o'clock. If you notice, this watch doesn't work. The second hand's not moving. I just have it set for this. So it's 1 o'clock. So this works, let me explain this first. This works in the northern hemisphere, the way I'm going to show you. I'll show you how to do it in the southern hemisphere in a second. But what you're going to do is, in the northern hemisphere, you're going to take your analog watch and see the hour hand, which is over here at about 1. you're going to take that and you want to point the hour hand at the sun. Now the sun is, as I said, right there. So I'm orienting this towards the sun. So I got the sun right in my line of view on my hour hand. Now I want to point it still in line with the sun, but I want to point it in that direction. Now to find what you're doing in the northern hemisphere is you're finding south with the watch. So halfway between the hour hand, so halfway between where the hour hand is and the 12. So let me get something thin I can show you. So this is actually going to be our reading right here. Halfway between the hour hand and the 12 once it's oriented at the sun. So I'm going to reorient to the sun, and that's the arrow thing. So south is right about here in between the hour hand and the 12 o'clock thing. So that being said, I'm going to lay my watch down next to the compass. Well, close enough that you can see it, but not close enough that the metal messes up the thing. Now just bring you back in here. Okay, so I hope you can see that this watch is still set at 1 o'clock. It's about 1:03 now, but it's close enough. But if you can see the hour hand, which is over here, and the 12 o'clock, and halfway between that, this is still oriented at the sun, by the way, and halfway between that points straight through like this. Now I want you to notice on the compass where south is pointing, which is almost exactly where that was. Okay, so that's how to find direction in the northern hemisphere. Using that method in the southern hemisphere, you're actually going to be finding north, not south. And the way you're going to do it, instead of using the hour hand to orient at the sun, you're going to be using the 12 o'clock. And you want to line up the 12 o'clock with the sun, and then go halfway between the 12 o'clock and the hour hand. And in between that would be your north bearing. So now that we know our directions, so we know towards this big pine tree here, this is going to be south, right on this side of it a little bit. That way is obviously going to be north. So we have our basic directions. So we can start making our patrol map accurately with actual orientation. So, something I like to do, I carry a blank piece of paper with me all the time just for things like this. Also, it makes fire starter or something if you get stuck. But I fold these, when I make a patrol map, I fold this into 4s, just like this. For a simple thing I like to do, you don't have to do this, but this side of the paper, I'll do north and south on the outsides, and east and west on the insides. Now they're all going to be starting from my base camp, but it's just if I want to move north direction from my camp, I just need this map. If I'm going to move south, I have this map, and so on. So, okay, so when you're making a patrol map, the first thing you want to do is I'm going to orient my map. So we're going to be moving south, just for the start of our patrol map. We're going to be moving south. So on my piece of paper, I'm going to mark where I'm starting, which is my campsite, on the top of the paper, up here. So I'll just do that right now. Okay, see how it says camp? So that's my start position. Now, the way I make patrol maps is now I'm gonna walk in a southerly direction. Oh yeah, that's another thing. I'm gonna orient my map. I'm gonna put a little compass at the top telling me which direction it's going. So let me just go put a little cross and an N and an S. So It doesn't have to be the best map in the world, but okay. So now I'm going to pick, there's a rock wall I can see. That's close enough. But this is just going to be a just to show you an example, to show you what to do. So when you're making a patrol map, what you're going to do is you're going to pick a land feature or something far off in the distance, something you can see possibly, and you're going to walk to that object. Then when you get to that object, you're going to take note of the time you leave and the time it takes you to get there. Then from your campsite to the object, so I'm just going to draw, actually once we get into it, it'll make more sense. Then once you get to your object, what you want to do is draw a line from where you came from to that object, and then draw the object, and then on that line write the time it took you to walk from A to B. What this will do is you're moving in a southerly direction, so you basically know your orientation going that way. You can keep redoing this with the watch. If you don't have a compass, you can keep reorienting yourself. And it will allow you to realize, so if you come back to that object, okay, so going in reverse, so if I'm coming back from my southerly mapping session, and I'm at this object, I know it might have taken me 15 minutes to walk from my campsite to that object, southbound. So if I'm coming back, it should take me around 15 minutes walking in a northerly direction to get back to my campsite. So hopefully that makes sense. It'll make a little more sense once I explain it. So I'm just gonna walk over to an object in my southerly route, and then start drawing my map, and I'll show you how to do that.